DRS enabled. Copy that. Goes, keep it up.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Slipstream League Racing Tier 2 second race of the season. My name is CM Punk. I'm joined by Babulas as usual. Are you here, Babulas? Babulas, you gotta mute your mic, man. I mean, come on. So, we're already with the qualifying session. Babulas is taking care of his business, so we're gonna wait for that to be done. Anyway, welcome to Imola, where we are having a qualifying session right now. And we're about to get our first lap time in a minute tonight. We've got our gamer, Vatsize, Vinny, Yamakovic, Cruiser, Crystals, Fox, Heat, Smelto, Bebix, Lawrence, Tilde, Matt, Luke, Dice, Christian, Nico, Tunari, and Yuho. This is the 19 gentlemen that are going to be racing here tonight at Imola. They're about to see from which position they're actually gonna go. We're gonna take a look at Vatsize in the Aston Martin. We're gonna see where it's gonna go. We got first lap time from his teammate, that is Dice, who goes 1:15.529. Dice is 0.2 slower than his teammate, but so far the Aston Martins are the only ones to make the lap time. We're waiting for the next guys. Ron Cruiser is about to finish his lap time. We're waiting for a couple of more guys, and let's see where they're gonna go. We got a time set from Ron Cruiser. He goes 1:14.912. So that is the fastest lap at the moment for Cruiser, 0.6 faster than the quicker Aston Martin. That's a great time from Mercedes driver. We're also waiting for the other guys to show up with their lap time. We got Fox, who's still working on it. We have Crystals now, who is set at 1:14.6, which is 0.3 faster than Cruiser. He's at provisional pole position at the moment, and we're going to see which way is this going to go. Then we got Christian, who is again fighting for pole position just like he did last week back in Australia. So that was a great fight for pole for this guy, and unfortunately he lost it on the final laps. But for now he's on provisional pole position ahead of Tunari, who goes up into P2. We got Bebix up into P5, and Yuho goes up into P6. Smelto is so far the worst time set, 5 seconds slower than the pole position time. Must have done some kind of mistake on the way out, so we're still waiting for 10 more guys to make their lap time count. Our gamer is about to finish his first time of the session. Let's see where's this guy gonna go. We also got a time from Luke GDI, who goes on the provisional front row, but not on pole position. He's still P2, and gamer goes P3. Very small margins in between Luke and Christian and gamer. We got the provisional pole position so far for Alpine driver, then the AlphaTauri, and then the Williams. The margins are very small in between the top three. They're definitely going to fight for pole position. The question is, who's going to jump into that fight? Is anybody going to challenge them? Vinny goes into the pits. He's not going to set the time for now. Lawrence was working on his quick lap, but for now it was ruined. He's working on another one. Tilde is trying to set the quick time. We're gonna see how is he gonna go. We got some yellow flags. Tilde actually invalidated his lap time, so he's not gonna count for now. And we got Mercedes sitting in the back of the track, in the middle of the track actually. That was Heat, he must have gone off, and he's now slowly and carefully gonna rejoin to not cause any harm to anybody. So far we only got 10 drivers who set their time. We still got Christian on provisional pole. Remember that he was sitting at provisional pole last week in Australia, but he was then dethroned and he went down to P3, I believe. And for now, he's still at provisional pole. But Luke, the last race winner from last week in Australia in Tier 2, is trying to take it away from him and start ahead of him. Our gamer is also in the mix. Tunari is at P4 in that McLaren. Then we got Crystals, Cruiser, Bebix, Yuho, Vatsize, Dice, and Smelter. The rest of the grid is still working on their quick lap. But Riyad Yamakovic, Red Bull driver, is on the quick lap right now in his second sector of his lap. And we also got Lawrence on the track to invalidate his lap time, so he's not going to count. Still waiting for some more time to show up. Riyad Yamakovic, in the meantime, is working on a quick lap, already done with his second sector, entering his third one, and he invalidated his lap time again. This is the section of the track where it's very common for drivers to make a mistake in here and actually invalidate the lap time, so it's gonna be another lap thrown into the bin for the Red Bull driver. We're gonna have to wait a couple of more to see him get the time set. Heath is still struggling to get back into the pits. We got Lawrence on the track with invalidated lap times, so far it's not many people are working on their lap times. We're gonna have to wait a couple of more minutes to see where is this gonna go. Dice has left in this section. We're gonna see if it's gonna be permanent or is he just out for a couple of seconds. We got Heath on his lap for now, but I'm gonna do much more than that. So we got 10 drivers with time, 10 with still time to set here at Imola. Yellow flag on sector 1. That was a mistake of Aston Martin driver, but he's already back on the track. In the meantime, Matt is working on his quick lap. The Red Bull driver finally getting to work. We're gonna see if he's gonna do anything big in here. Yellow flag from the Aston Martin letting him through. So let's see what can Matt pull off after his first sector, entering the second sector. Still looking forward to those lap times to see who's gonna challenge Christian for pole position. Of course, we know Luke and Gamer do have the pace to fight him, but are they gonna succeed in battling Christian? He didn't invalidate his lap time. Matt is on a runner, and he's got a purple in second sector. This could be big for Matt. Let's see where is he gonna go for now. The Red Bull driver entering the final sector. This is looking good for him, but is he gonna deliver? We're gonna have to wait to find out. Down the main straight he goes. Matt in Red Bull from P19 with no time set up into P5, half a second slower than Christian, right behind Funari, right ahead of Crystal. So too much smoke, not enough noise. We're gonna see who's gonna be actually able to challenge the guys in the front. Vinny is working on his quick lap so far, so is Fox, his teammate. Both Alfa Romeo boys are working on their quick lap. Touch is on a quick lap as well, so is Lawrence, but he's also validated another lap time.
With a second. Oh,
Naiko got a bit of slip up, so this is not.
He had the purple sector too.
Yeah, but unfortunately that slip up is gonna cost him a lot of time, and he doesn't look like a pole position fighter for now, but he does have the pace. We're gonna see if he's gonna use this on the later runs. Anyway, Vinny is about to cross the line for his first lap. We also got a time set from Touch. He goes up into P9, and Vinny is gonna cross the finish line, and he goes P14 right ahead of Dice. So we're gonna see where his teammate is gonna go. Fox did invalidate his lap time, so it's not gonna count. He's gonna have to work on it again, unfortunately. Lawrence is trying to set another time, but he's on a hard compound. You have to wonder, is this some kind of strategy or just mistake? Probably strategy from Haas driver. Tilde is also working on his quick lap. He still hasn't set the time with Ferrari driver. So far, nobody was able to get close to the top 3 boys, and then we got a lot of small margins as well between P4, P5, and P6, and even P7. So this is a close fight. Also, very small differences in the midfield. We're gonna see where he's gonna go. We have some changes. Naiko goes up into P10 with their times now. So this is gonna be, of course, up to fix for him. We're still waiting for some times from guys like Tilde, Lawrence, Heath, and Fox, and Lydia Yamakovic. So he still hasn't set the time. Tilde is looking good for now. Let's see if he's gonna go for a quick lap finally. Looks like he is. He has an invalidated lap time in there in sector 2. So this must be a good way for him to finish the lap. We're gonna see where is he gonna go. His teammate is at the moment P4, just 0.2 away from Gamer from Christian. So the Crystals did improve a lot on his lap. Tilde, not that great, goes P14. So his teammate is definitely way ahead of him for now. We're gonna see if this is going to change. Heath is in his first sector working on lap. So is Lawrence on a hard compound again. Christian is looking to improve, and Christian is working on lap. Well, Christian is improving. He already finished his lap, and he goes even faster, 1:13.6. That is a game changer, because the differences between the top 3 were so small, and now he even improved so much to gain 0.4 gap over Luke. So this is going to be very difficult for AlphaTauri driver to get close.
Invalidated.
Yeah, and Luke is working on his second lap to try to get back on Christian. So is Gamer. But for now, Luke is not improving enough to get back into the pole position fight. So I guess it's going to be more of a front row fight because Christian is just dominating here at Imola in this qualifying session with 6 minutes to go. Luke is down with second sector, but is not improving enough to get that pole position for himself. So most likely this is going to be just an improvement for his P2 at the moment, where he's still sitting comfortably around the final corner, didn't cut the track limits, so that's good for him. Down the main straight, and Luke does improve. Not enough to fight for pole though. He's still 0.2 away from Christian. That is a mega lap for Christian. So Gamer is still on his end lap, so he didn't improve too much. We're still waiting for some different times. We got Yamakovic in the meantime, making a time, setting it for P8, so he's just 2 positions away from his teammate Matt, who is P6 at the moment. We still don't have times from neither Fox, Keith, or Lawrence, who is still on a hard compound, still invalidating the lap time. What is going on here? We got info. Sorry, Babs, I know about that stuff. Not sure we can hear Babs on the stream, by the way. So they're basically...
I think you can.
Can you guys hear him? Come on, say something longer, say something louder, come on. Give me your opinion.
What can I say, what can I do? I'm waiting for the rain. I was waiting for rain.
We know you're waiting for rain. Who's gonna be on the pole position though? Is somebody gonna beat Christian?
I think Christian has locked the P1.
Yeah, I think he basically secured pole position, so we're gonna see if your mic is up any better right now. But in the meantime, we're still waiting for times from the guys from the bottom 3. Fox is working on his timed lap. We got 4 minutes left in the session. This is not a lot. This is basically about 1 to 2 quick laps for you to be done, so you gotta have to be very careful right now. Fox had a bit of slip up on his quick lap. This is not going to be good for him, but for now his priority should be just making any lap time at this point and try to fight for the midfield instead of going faster and risking a mistake that could lead to him starting from the back. So he has to focus right now and try to push as much as he can, but still remain on the track and remain within the track limit, of course. And he's going for those fast corners, but he stayed inside the track limit. That is a good message for him. Gonna see, can Fox fight for something more than his teammate Vinny, so far closing the time sheet scoreboard, and now his teammate Fox across the finish line. The second Alfa Romeo driver goes P9, respectable from Fox. Good position, way better than his teammate so far. We're gonna see if this is going to change. So the only person on the track right now who's working on his quick lap is Vinny, who is not improving. He's coming into the pit lane. Heath, who's on an out lap, and Lawrence just came into the pits. So we're waiting for Heath to begin his quick lap, as he's starting it right now. We still got Christian on provisional pole. We're not sure if he's gonna come out on the track anytime soon. So they're gonna sit in the pit lane, maybe save some tires for the race itself. We're gonna have to wait to find out. Heath is entering his first sector. We got a yellow flag from Haas and Williams, I believe, in the first sector, but it's already cleared out. Heath after sector 1. How fast is he? 24.04. Not the best, not the worst from Mercedes driver. His teammate at the moment, Van Cruiser, is P11, and we got a lot of cars heading to the track right now. There's a lot of traffic in that sector 1. Look at this, 2 Ferraris, Alpines, Mercedes, Tauri, McLaren. There's a huge pileup in that sector 1, so there's going to be a lot of improvement opportunities for the driver, but I have to be very careful. So we got Heath finishing his second sector already. Is he going to invalidate the track limits? No, he kept it on the line. Good for him. And we're going to see where this guy going to go with 2 minutes left in the qualifying session. This is the last call for the drivers to head on the track and fight for something more than you already have right now. Heath hears this message and he knows he has to give it all. He gives himself, and he's gonna go up into P12 right behind his teammate Ron Cruiser. And the whole grid is basically on an outlap. The only people in the box right now in the pits are Matt, who decided to retire from the session. who I believe retired in the pit lane. Riyad Yamakovic's teammate and Fox. Everybody else is on the track right now.
Okay, how many safety cars are we gonna have?
Oh, this is very bold call, but on this track it could be anything from 1 to 4. It could be 0, but to be honest, this is pretty easy to get a safety car. I mean, is it? When you think about it, because it's very tight in the corners, true, but there's not a lot of like walls close to the corners, so it's very difficult to cause out a huge collision to bring out a safety car. So maybe we're not gonna have too much safety cars today, hopefully, at least. So, the final rounds of the qualifying session are about to begin. Christian is working on his quick lap. Is he gonna improve even more? Gamer is improving enough to fight for the front row. Still not enough.
Ooh, that's way.
Position.
That was way out.
Who's gone off?
More than he wanted.
Yeah. So we got Christian in sector 2. We're gonna see if he's improving or not. If Christian's improving, it has to be very bad news for the rest of the grid. Anyway, Fox has retired from the session. He's P9 at the moment, presumably. Christian is still trying. Heat has also decided to retire while being at P12.
He's half a second slower.
Yeah, Christian is not improving. Luke is improving just a bit. And Gamer is improving a lot. So let's see if Gamer can actually go up into the front row. We can see Crystals finishes P4. Riyad is finishing P8. Gamer across the finish line ahead of Luke. Now this is all in Luke's hands. Can he bring the front row back away from Gamer, because he looks like a solid front row? He's just 0.1 away from Christian. That is a great time from Gamer. Still, of course, not enough to get pole position. Now Luke, can the last week race winner pick up front row at least, or maybe even a pole position on his final lap of the qualifying session? We got Tenari finishing P4 already. Matt is still at P6, Smelto P7, Dice P8, Riyad P9, then Fox, Nico, Cruiser, Heat, Taj, Bebix, Vatsai, Stilde, Yuko, Vinny, and Lorenz, and Luke from P3 does go P2, and it's almost a pole position for the AlphaTauri, only 0.046 away from Christian Alpine. Wow, that was a close call for Christian, but he is on pole position at the moment. I don't think anything can change this. Smelto is still on a quick lap. He wasn't looking as fast to get pole position, but let's give him a chance. Where's Smelto gonna go? From P7 up into P6. One position up he goes. Lawrence will not set a time in the session. He's gonna start from the very back. So we have P4 results, and that was a very, very close call for the top guy, Christian, who still remains on pole position, but he was just inches away from Luke and Gamer. So, we're gonna wait for the race to begin any moment now here at Imola. We do have Christian on pole position with Luke in the front row. Then we got Gamer, Tsunari, Crystal, Smelto, Matt, Dice, Riyad, Fox. That's the top 10. The bottom 10 is Nico, Vatsai's Cruiser, Yuho, Heat, Touch, Bebix, Tilde, Vinny, and Lawrence. That's the grid that we're gonna go with here tonight in Imola. So what do you think? Who's gonna be able to pick up a win here tonight in Imola? Is this gonna be Christian from pole position, or is Luke gonna beat him?
It's gonna be tough because there are gonna be a lot of penalties because of the track limits. So whoever is more careful about the track limits, he is gonna be safer.
Yeah, you're right.
If it makes any sense, I'm saying.
Yeah, because we did saw a lot of red laps in the qualifying session, so this is obviously going to be a big issue for the drivers. We have seen last week that penalties can shift a lot of positions. We basically see it every week, so we're going to wait to find out how good are they going to be tonight. Who's going to be standing on top of the rest, and who's going to have the least amount of penalties. Because we're already waiting for the grid to be set and ready to go. This is the second race of the 13th season in Slipstream League Racing here at Imola in Tier 2. We had Tier 3 yesterday, Tier 1 tomorrow, but Tier 2 is right here and right now. And we're about to go racing here in Italy. Ferrari's home race, also for AlphaTauri due to the manufacturer. And we're gonna see who's gonna pick up the most in this race.
By the way, Imola is my least favorite track. Even Portimao is more preferable than this one.
Yeah, And it's also a home race for Crystals because he's actually Italian. So this is a double home race, Ferrari driver and Italian. So the crowd must be going absolutely ballistic for Crystals. We're gonna see where's he gonna go because we're already set for the Imola Grand Prix as Christian goes away from the lights pretty well.
It's formation.
It's formation lap. Oh, I was wondering because the lights went so quickly. It is a formation lap, you're right, because like we didn't have that before, did we?
You should see the two the two green lights, not five.
Yeah, I mean, I did saw them, but I was like confused because every single time we didn't have the formation, so I was like, okay, we go racing again. So yeah, thanks for the save. Anyway, the formation lap. We can now see the grid in full disclosure. Christian starting from pole on a hard compound. This is actually going to be pretty interesting due to his strategy. We're going to see which strategy the driver is going to actually go with. We can see Christian is starting on hard compound. We can see Luke is also on hard compound. Gamer is on mediums, so this is going to be a gamble for him. Can he pick up those places and pull away from the top guys, or can he just sit behind them and use those mediums to try to stay behind those guys to save some battery, maybe save some fuel? We'll see about that. We got Tenari on hard, then the whole grid from P5 all the way to P15 is on mediums. Tudge is the only one to go from softs, then Bebix Tilde on hard compound, Vinny on mediums, and Lawrence on hard again. The strategy for this race, as the Pirelli suggests, are either one stop from mediums to hards, or a double stop medium hard. Of course, you can also go hard mediums.
And
so
you can also go medium soft.
Yeah, technically you could still do it, but it's gonna be risky and dangerous due to soft tires being pretty poor in this game. So
it's better than the last years. Come on, don't complain about that.
A bit, but still not that great. Still, I prefer hard tires from soft, so not a fan of soft tire myself. Anyway, we're setting up the grid till the lights go out. We're almost set now. Christian is taking up his spot. Now let's see who's gonna make a mistake while trying to park their cars on the spot. You can see that Crystals wasn't able to fit. Neither was Gamer, so they're already some mistakes before the race even starts. We also have Riyad Yamakovic gonna be set back on his position. So 3 drivers failed to fit inside of their pit lane starting position. Anyway, the lights are going red and we're almost ready to go. Here at Imola, we're racing yet again in Tier 2. Christian makes a good reaction. Is Luke going to be able to fight him down into Turn 1? Yes, Luke had a great start, even better than Christian. And now into the Turn 1 we go. Is Luke going to go around the outside on Christian? Is Christian going to defend enough? Luke goes to the outside, then to the inside, and he's done him. Luke is now leading the Grand Prix. We had a bit of spin-off, and we have Matt going off. So is Riyad Yamakovic. So 2 Red Bulls down, and Juho dropping some places. Both Red Bull drivers down to the very bottom. We still have Luke in the lead though. Christian is now down into 2nd place. The rest of the grid stays the same up until down to P7. Dice gained the position. 2 positions gained from Fox. Now Fox again up into P7. Another good overtake from him. And both Red Bull drivers went out. What happened? Have you seen what happened to the Red Bulls?
He gained 6 positions, also Bibix. And Vinny. So something happened, but the cameras didn't help us.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I did only saw like the final stage, which was already like them going off. So, anyway, we still have Luke in the lead, who did won that fight into Turn 1, and then Turn 2 he went absolutely fearlessly through those corners, and he's now benefiting that because he's leading the Grand Prix. Christian is trying to win his position back. Is he gonna do it? In down the main straight, of course he will. Luke doesn't have anything to defend from here, and thus Christian is now leading the Imola Grand Prix yet again while starting from pole position. Actually, Gamer in P3, who still hasn't used these medium tires because despite the fact he's on a medium compound compared to the guys in the top 2, he's still slower. Now let's take a look at Tenari and Crystals. They're going side by side, and Crystals does gain a position on the McLaren driver. Good move from hometown hero as Crystals goes up into P4, Tenari down to P5. Smelto is sitting right behind them. This could be a nice freeway battle if we can have some from those guys. Also, we have a big pile up in the midfield because Dice, Fox, Heat Nyko, they're all getting very close towards each other. So is Bebix in there. So a couple of interesting fights we have right now at the moment on the track. Christian is still safe and sound in the lead, but Luke is right behind him, so he has to be careful because every single mistake could be used against him. Our gamer is actually getting closer. Still no penalties for anybody, so with turn lap 1 and lap 2 are actually good. We had somebody going wide. That was Bebix going wide after those fast corners, but still no position swaps.
He is on frenzy. He's gained 7 races, but he's fighting Dice.
Yeah, and we got an info that Fox and Matt came together into turn 1, so that was most likely the reason for Matt and Riyad going off into first corners. So the Red Bull drivers are not going to remember Imola well unless some miracles can happen. And we have
a fight at P9.
Yeah, I can see that Heat is trying to get ahead of Dice again, but Dice is closing this line very well for Aston Martin driver, and he's still up there, but now Heat down the inside. They almost made contact, but it's clean. We have somebody going off yellow flag. That's Tudge, who is all out of shape for Alpine driver, and he's all the way out there. But now let's take a look back at Heat, because Heat is already trying to get on the inside of Dice. He was trying to go to the outside now, but Dice closed the door well for him, and he's still up ahead of Mercedes driver.
Oh, and Sky spun.
Yeah, Bebix has spun himself, and we have first penalties. We got a 5-second time penalty for Bebix for making a collision, and we have a 3-second time penalty for our gamer, the one in the top 3. This is going to be huge for the final standings, especially because they're fighting for the podium.
And so I think he is going to overtake now because the DRS is activated the previous lap.
Yeah, Heat is definitely going to gain position. I'm trying to see what's going to change as well. Christian drops to P2, so we have a new race leader. Again, Luke is back into the lead. Christian is now defending P2 from our gamer, who is in P3. Maybe we can have some freeway battle. Bebix has retired from the session in the pit lane, and our gamer is trying to take some places against Christian, but Christian is only thinking about Luke right now. Maybe it's not the best idea, because gamer is pretty quick on those mediums now, trying to get closer towards Christian, but for now, he's actually comfortable with P3 despite this penalty. He's not trying too much of a risk. He's sitting behind Christian, hoping for the guys in the front to get some penalties. So the top 4 guys are for now sitting comfortably. Crystals is safe ahead of Fox, who's safe ahead of Smelto. Not too much overtaking right now, but they're so close. We have to keep an eye out for everybody. Heat gets a 3-second time penalty while being at P8. This is going to be very dangerous for him in terms of fight for the points. We got overtake Lawrence going up into P12 ahead of Nyko. Lawrence actually gained 8 positions after the start of the Grand Prix. He was starting from the back, and he's already up into P12. Well done for the Haas driver. Of course, as we have DRS down the main straight, Christian is most likely going to be leading us again. Is he? Yes, he is down into the main straight on the inside ahead of Luke. Luke is still at P2 because Gamer is not going to make a move. He's still riding comfortably behind those top guys. Maybe, just maybe, Gamer will have enough pace to do it. No, he's still actually pretty safe for now at P3, not using too much of a battery. We have some fight in the midfield. We have Crystals going down P6. Actually, Fox is the one who go up into P5, and we have a yellow flag in the midfield that was caused by...
Mercedes.
Was it caused by? Yeah. So, now Mercedes, not that much of a good race for them. So we have Crystals down to P6 after Fox overtakes. Fox actually gained 5 positions. Well done for him. We have a fight between Cruiser and Yuho, and I can only turn my camera into Yuho to see that Yuho is sideways off the track. So is the McLaren of Nyko. I haven't seen what happened exactly, but both Williams and McLaren, Yuho and Nyko, are down to the very bottom again, so this is not the great start for them. And actually, the Red Bulls are making quite a comeback. They were all the way in the back after turn 1, and they're already up into P11 and P12, so that's a good effort from Red Bull drivers. We're gonna be trying to catching up with those guys. We have a lot of fights going on at the same time, but for now, Christian is still P1. He's not gonna give that lead. Gamer is still behind Luke, and still Tonari is behind those guys, so no shifts in the top. Fox is still ahead of Crystals, who doesn't have enough pace to go up into P5. We still have Heat at P8 with no situation for now. Oh, that was quite a bold decision for Dice to try to make a move in there, and we have Mercedes off. That was Heat, who goes completely off the track. In the meantime, Vatsais gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's penalty for Aston Martin driver. Run Cruiser is P10, Red Bulls are P11 and P13 now because Lawrence got back into P12. We have some fight in the midfield for now, so Lawrence gets ahead of Matt. We still have no position swaps in the front. We got two guys pitting, that was Juho and Vatsais. Christian still leading, followed by Luke, then Gamer, Tunari. Fox still has to watch over his shoulder for the Ferrari driver, and Crystals was going sideways very much. He saved it, but it did cost him a position. We have a yellow flag in the back that was caused by a Ferrari driver, that was Tilde, who has done another mistake. He's now down into P15. We got another yellow for Nico in the McLaren.
Matt lost position from Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny goes up into P13.
He made a mistake for sure.
Gets split again. Yeah. And we're still waiting for some overtakes to happen in the front because for now Christian seems safe, but Luke is trying to get the position back again. We have overtake from the Mercedes partners. Run Cruiser gets ahead of Heat. That was most likely not due to rivalry, but due to a strategy decision to let the other guy through. Cruiser is now trying to come back to Dice. Actually, Dice got away from Cruiser and from Heat a lot because they were close, but now he's 2 seconds ahead of them, so there was a mistake from Mercedes. Dice did have a slip up himself, but he's still on the track safe and sound. We don't have too much overtakes in the midfield or in the top right now. We're checking the bottom and still no too much wheel-to-wheel action. There is an overtake attempt from Lawrence on Riyad Nayamakovic, but Riyad is still defending nicely in P11.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the question of the day.
Come on.
Is Dice gonna finish?
Is Dice gonna finish? That is the great question, to which I can't really answer for now. I did saw him slip up here and then, but for now he's actually keeping it on the track, so for now I would have to say yes, but there is actually no way to predict this.
Okay, what does the chat say? Oh! You saw that?
What happened? I was looking at Dice.
He was wobbling.
Oh, so he's wobbling again, but yeah, he was wobbling, but he's still P8, so like, don't hate my guy, he's still trying his best. We got overtake from Lawrence, going up into P11, finally making a move on Riyad Yamakovic, who was trying to do it for quite a while, and he's up into P11. Matt is defending from Vinny because he just got back into P13, and he's gonna keep it for now, but Vinny is looking quick. He's gonna try to win his position back again soon. Tilde P15 trying to get close to these guys. Christian is still leading from Luke. Then we got Gamer. Tunari is actually 1.5 away from Gamer, so he did drop out of the DRS train, and now he has to worry about the guys coming behind him. We still got 3 guys very close. That's Smelto, Crystals, and Fox. They're not making too much of a moves right now. They're very close to each other. Juho gets a fastest lap on these soft tires. That is completely understandable. So as you said before the race, this is going to be basically about the penalties. The less penalties you get, the better the results, because so far the very long main straight with the DRS only being there basically, and the one more section, there's not enough space
that is why I want in most races to rain, because it spices things up. It's not a boring race.
Yeah, definitely. Some races can be less exciting, but of course, let's not forget the race is long. We're still gonna have some moves, and Dice drops position to Cruiser. Remember how he had got 2 seconds worth of lead over Cruiser, and he's now being overtaken, so he must have been wobbling quite a lot that he dropped this lead in about, what, 2 laps, maybe less? So
I told you.
I mean, he's still going. He's still going. And Heat gets a 3-second time penalty, and right after that, Riyad Yamakovic gets a 3-second time penalty as well, of course, for violating the track limits. And I'm looking at the Ferrari of Crystals, who is trying to get ahead of Fox. Fox was out of shape for a while, but he's still in there, and now Smelto trying to make a move on the Ferrari, but they're still going nicely. I can see you're looking at Dice, but the Ferrari is actually really close right now. Look at this Crystal, Smelto, and Fox battle that we have right now. This is probably the closest thing we have to an overtake, because those guys are very close to each other. One mistake.
Yes, but I still want the opinion of the chat about if Dice gonna finish. Because they are talking to you, but they are not talking to me.
Yeah, maybe. We got a shift in the lead. Luke is now again leading the Grand Prix, followed by Christian, but this is gonna be counter-attack. No, Christian's gonna have to settle for second for now, back behind Luke. Game right behind them, Tenari P4. And Ferrari driver Crystals makes a move up into P5 ahead of Fox, and Fox actually dropped 2 places because he's now down to P7 behind Smelto. So Smelto goes up into P6. Cruiser gets a free second time penalty. And at this point, you just have to bet who's not gonna get a penalty, because we're not even halfway through the race. We're already spreading those penalties. They're multiplying like crazy, so there's gonna be a lot of
that's why I said this is a very tricky track, because of the track limits are not consistent. You may take the same corner like Crystals does now, and he doesn't get any penalty.
Yeah, maybe he just got a warning. We don't really know that, so we're gonna be sure to check this out. For now, we don't have too much things going on. We got Touch overtaking Nico up for P16 in the back of the pack. But still, we got Christian going up into P1 again, but this is obviously due to these guys racing for the win. They're very close.
Luke lost the first place. Christian.
Oh, and Luke was actually very close on Christian, because Christian was braking a bit later than he expected, and he almost went into the back of Christian, but still, Christian is leading with Luke now, trying to go down the inside. No, he's going to back it off. He's in a comfortable situation. P2 doesn't have to do much. He's going to wait for his chance, and Gamer is still waiting right behind those guys for their mistake. Tenari is now 2.5 behind the top 3, so the top 3 is comfortable for now. Smelto up against Crystals, like you just said. Crystals then P6, and Fox is P7. Fox seems to be dropping off the pace a bit for now. In the meantime, we can check out Dice versus from Cruiser, because Dice is trying to get back on Cruiser again, despite the fact these guys are going at it for a whole race so far. They're still trying to make each other's lives nightmare. Let's take a look at Dice. Is he gonna do it? No, he's gonna have to wait for his chance right now. Fox gets a free second time penalty.
I told you. Everybody's gonna get penalties.
He just got another one because he was off the track, that Mercedes, and this is not only going to cost him a penalty, this could also cost him a position. Lawrence is trying to make a move up into the pointing position. For now, he's going to have to wait. Got an overtake for the lead. Luke gets back into the lead ahead of Christian, of course. This is going to swap every other lap down the main straight, and I believe Lawrence is now going to make a move up into the pointing position. So he was starting from P20, and he's now about to overtake the Mercedes driver Heat. Yes, he does. Up into P10 for the pointing place finish. So this is a great drive from the Haas driver, who's now P10. Heat is right behind him. So we got a lot of penalties for now. Let's take a look at who's got the most amount of penalties. So we got 3 seconds for Gamer, 3 seconds for Fox, 3 for Cruiser, 9 for Heat, that's a lot, 3 for Yamakovic, 5 for Nico, and 3 for Vatsites. And we're not even halfway through the race. This is going to be a huge pain in the bum for a lot of drivers tonight.
Guys, 3 seconds.
Dice gets his first 3-second penalty. Somebody in the chat actually replied to, they said that Larson said that Dice will finish. Usually he bins it right ahead of me when I'm racing in Tier 2, but since I'm not, he will finish. That's quite a theory from Larson. I'm pretty sure this could be possible. We got a yellow flag in Sector 1, but that is Nico, who is P17, so this is not too much for the race action. In the meantime, Christian gets back into the lead ahead of Luke, and we got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane for Ron Cruiser in the Mercedes. This is just not going the Mercedes way. Cruiser 8-second penalty, Cheat 9-second time penalty. So a lot of penalties for the guys in blue. We're gonna wait to see.
I don't know what to say, especially when you go in the pit limits and you miss it. I don't know, it's a lack of practice. What do you think? Oh, Dice is slipping all over the place.
You know, when you got like a 3 or 6-second time penalty, you want to save as much time as possible, so you try to go for the pit lane as fast as possible. Of course, from this point on, it's all or nothing, so whether you get 6-second time penalty or 8 or 9, it doesn't really matter. So you try to save as much time as possible, so it was most likely a mistake under pressure, just like Riyad Yamakovic, who just got a 3-second time penalty for himself. Second time in this race, so he's now got a 6-second time penalty.
Gamer is in the pits.
Yeah, our gamers in the pits. Those mediums finally gave up, and we have a lot of pit lanes actually, because we have Gamer. We do have Crystals in the pit lane. Is Dice gonna go as well? Yes, Dice is also in the pit lane, so there's a lot of pit lanes. Dice gets a 3-second time penalty.
5 seconds, come on.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, I did say 5 seconds, so 5-second time for Dice, so there are a lot of penalties. So, Gamer's out of the fight for the win, so now it's basically Luke against Christian. These guys are in the mediums right now, and if there will be no safety car for the rest of the race, these guys are in the mix for the win. Fox gets a 3-second time penalty. Tunari is still on the track on those hard compound tires. Smelto is now P4. Fox is P5. Lawrence P6. Yellow flag in second sector, but that's Nico again.
I don't see clouds in the sky. That's worrisome.
Yeah, perhaps it's not gonna race, unfortunately. We have a fight for
that's bad news.
P14.
That's bad news.
We have a fight for P14, but not an overtake. Touch had to back it up for now, and he's trying to overtake Vinny again. Down the inside. Is he gonna do it? Does he have enough grip? I think he does. Yes, he's gonna move up at Alfa Romeo driver. And Alfa Romeo driver has to watch over his shoulder for Heat, who is coming right behind him. So there's not enough brake for my guy from Alfa Romeo. 5-second time penalty for Fox.
Guys, this is not happening. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
this is not
imagine
happening.
if we have to count all these penalties to get the final result. This is not gonna be a job for us. Anyway, let's just appreciate the fact that Lawrence, who was starting P20, is now up into P4. Of course, it's due to penalties and the pit lanes, but still, P20 to P4 is wild for Lawrence. So we're gonna see where Haas driver is gonna finish. In the meantime, Taj gets a 3-second time penalty. And I'm pretty sure it's already half of the grid with the penalties at this point, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers with the penalties. So just 2 more and we're gonna have half of the grid with penalties. This is crazy. This is basically a race where you don't actually fight for position side by side or wheel to wheel. This is a race where you fight against the other drivers' abilities to stay in the track limits. So we don't really have too much to talk about right now. Heat is trying to get ahead of Taj while being in P13, but this is not going to be too much for him because, of course, Heat's got a 9-second time penalty, but he's going to make a move on the Alpine driver. He's done it clean, and he's up ahead into P12. Vinny is P13, Matt P15, so no position swaps in the back. Christian is still leading ahead of Luke. And you have to wonder, when is Christian and Luke are gonna pit, because they're on lap 16. These hard compound tires are still good to go, but eventually one of them will have to stop before the other. Do you think they're gonna come together? What happened?
Taj lost the rear end, but he kept the car on track.
Yeah, we have a pit lane stop from Riyad Yamakovic, who's coming in the pits right now. So far the king of penalties is Fox. He's got 11-second time penalty. The second place in this category goes to Heat, 9-second, and then a lot of guys with 8-second time penalty. Those are
Grand Cruiser, Dice.
Smelto now gets a 3-second time penalty, so it's already, I'm pretty sure it's 9 drivers with the penalties in this Grand Prix after 16 laps. This is crazy. I'm pretty sure there are more 3-second time penalties so far than laps in this race when you count them all up. This is amazing. We got Tilde going up into P16 ahead of Watt size. Up into P15 ahead of Watt size. Other than that, we have Christian and Luke still going at it for P1, but of course they're not going to take too much risk. Christian's just going to let Luke pass and then going to overtake him again on the way close to the pits down the main straight. So Tunari is still safe. Nobody is in contact for now except for Watt size against Tilde and Christian against Luke. And we have a yellow flag from Sector 1 that was caused by Yuho, who is now sitting in the gravel, Carlos Sainz style. He's just chilling in P19. So yeah, this is definitely one of the worst races that we have so far. 3-second time penalty for Matt in Red Bull. Of course, the finish is going to be interesting because when you count those penalties, even Tilde could be potentially in the points, despite the fact he's 15th at the moment. Well, he's 20 seconds behind Matt, so not now. But maybe, just maybe he's going to get some positions. We got another yellow flag in sector 2.
Is you know, because he's stopping and let the others pass.
Oh, okay, so not too much to follow. And we have a pit lane entrance from Christian. Finally something happening worth to mention. So Christian is going to try to undercut Luke. And do you think Christian's going to have enough pace to do it? Is Christian going to come out in front of Luke, or is Luke going to keep his lead after the pit lane? What do you think about that?
I think Christian did the correct move to have the tire temperature working until Luke is going to pit.
Yeah, because the Christian's gonna have better tires, but then again, Christian's gonna have some traffic because let's take a look at Christian, who's coming out in P5. He's now gonna have 6 seconds behind Lawrence, Gamer, and Tunari. We know that Gamer is fresh out of the pits. He's not gonna stop soon. Lawrence still has to pit, so is Tunari. So the only person actually ahead of Christian's gonna be Gamer, and you have to wonder is he gonna block him or not. But for now, let's try to stick with Luke.
Let's see.
I'm trying
Christian is 25 seconds away from Luke.
Yeah.
So.
And Nico gets a free second. So, Luke is about to enter the pit lane. Is Christian gonna be ahead of him? I would have to say that for now, I don't think so, but maybe he will do it. So, Christian is down second sector, actually going purple in the second sector, so Christian is on fire right now. Maybe it's gonna be just enough to get that lead back. Luke is right now entering his own pit station, his own box. Tires are getting put on. Christian is coming very fast. Is this gonna be enough for Christian? I don't think it is. Is it? Of course, now Tunari's in the lead, Gamer is a second, but the question is between Christian and Luke. And he did it, just about did it. Christian is right ahead of Luke, but it's not going to be too much. So for now, he has to try to basically explain his... he's going to try to make his gap over Luke bigger than it already is, because for now, Luke doesn't have a DRS, and this is crucial for Christian. So basically, in this pit lane fight, Christian is on top, and when you count all the penalties and pit stops, Christian is a favorite to win this Grand Prix at the moment. Tunari, in the meantime, gets another 3 seconds. His first 3 second time penalty for Tunari, sorry. So, Tunari, Gamer, Smelto, Fox, Cruiser, Dice, Heat, Riyad, Matt, Taj, Batsais, and Nico are now all having penalties. Wow, that is a long list. So, we got Tunari in the lead for now, but of course he's gonna have to come to the pits.
Christian is gonna have DRS. No, he's not gonna have DRS.
I didn't saw where he was in the detection zone. We're gonna see in a minute.
No.
Lawrence, Gamer, and Tunari all into the pit lane. That, of course, leaves Christian as a new race leader. Fastest lap of the race as well, so he's pushing incredibly fast right now. And he is leading the Imola Grand Prix again. For Luke, however, he's actually getting really close towards... he's actually not leading. Gamer actually stayed out. I was sure that he's gonna come into the pits, but he's still out. Sorry, he was in the pits. That's right, he was in the pits because he was starting on mediums, and he's on hard now. Far away from Christian for now. 4 seconds. Of course, this gap is gonna shrunk immediately after like a couple of laps. But Gamer is still leading the Imola Grand Prix, of course, with 3 second time penalty on worse tires, but he's still a leader of this race, and Luke is already in the DRS zone of Christian. As for P4, we actually have some fight. We got a yellow flag for Dice. Is he gonna finish the race? Yes, Dice is still in the race. I was scared for a moment. Despite the fact he was off the track, he's gonna drop a lot of places with this. But he's still going, he's still racing. He now just dropping another position to Red Bull driver Matt, but he's still on the track, he's still going. Smelto is trying to make some moves in Crystals. He's gonna do it right now with DRS most likely. Crystals doesn't have a DRS, he will. Christian gets fastest lap of the race again. Another yellow flag that was caused by the McLaren driver that is in the back, that is Nico. And Actually, Christian was able to pull away for more than a second from Luke. So this is going to be interesting to see if Luke can actually get back into the DRS zone. This could be crucial for him. Crystals is now down to P5 right behind Smelto, but he's of course going to try to win this back. He's most likely going to be successful due to DRS down the main straight. Fox is still P6. Then we've got Cruiser, Janari, Heat, Matt, who is defending from Dice, and Dice is defending from the other Red Bull driver, and Ria Diamakovic, who was trying to make a move on Dice, actually has made a mistake that caused him to go off and lose not one but 2 places, and Lawrence just gained 2 positions after overtaking fallen off Riyadh and Dice, and he's now looking to get ahead of Matt to get back into the pointing position. And Lawrence is actually on fire right now. He was starting P20, and after the pit stops, he's gonna be P10 any moment. So 10 positions gained for Lawrence is actually incredible for him.
And without penalties.
Yeah, of course. So Christian is already 1.4 away from Gamer. This is a matter of not if, but when he's gonna overtake Gamer. Crystals gets a 3-second time penalty. So there are now less drivers without penalties than the drivers with the penalties. Without penalties, there's actually only Christian, Luke, Lawrence, Tilde, Vinny, Vatsais. That's it. That's incredible. That is wild. They have so many penalties.
And we still have 10 laps to go. Come on.
Yeah, and Crystals is up ahead of Smelto. Smelto's going to try to win this back, but not successfully. He's going to have to sit back and agree that, accept the fact he's now P5 again. Lawrence gets up into P10 ahead of Matt, and he's clean to go on these faster medium tires. Christian is now less than a second away from Gamers, so Gamers just running on hopes and prayers right now, trying to stay in this fight for the win. Most likely he's just going to settle for podium. Still good enough. Christian, he's going to try to fight for the win against Luke, but this is going to go down most likely all the way to the finish line, so it's we're going to have a lot of time before all this happens. 10 laps to go, of course. We got another 3-second time penalty for Fox this time. So Fox is the leader in the penalty qualifying. He's got 14 seconds worth of penalty. I don't think he's giving the points right now, despite being P6. I think he's gonna be out of the points after the finish line. Gamer drops to P2 behind Christian. Very close between Gamer and Christian and Luke, but Gamer realizes there's nothing to fight for. He just gives it up, and now it's between Luke and Christian to the finish line for the win here at Imola. When it comes to the podium, Gamer is most likely going to be P3 if he doesn't make a mistake. Lawrence is now the fastest car on the track as he's about to make an overtake on Heat. Just a matter of time. Done it. Round the outside, up into P9, and Lawrence is looking like a potential driver of the day so far because of the amount of positions gained is actually incredible. That's actually wild. P20 up into P9 on the pace he's right now. He still looks like he can pick up way more positions, including the penalties from the top. So we're gonna have to
let's see how many penalties.
For now, presumably he'll be P8.
He gains 1 position for sure from Fox.
Yeah, and he maybe even gain position from Run Cruiser, so we just have to wait to find out. For now, we're trying to stick with something. We gotta fight for the win, of course, but Christian and Luke are smart, and they're not gonna actually bang wheels. They're just gonna keep exchanging the lead between the DRS trains so that they can actually stay ahead of each other. Heat gets another 3-second time penalty. Luke and Christian are basically going the same way in this Grand Prix. This is all gonna go down to the final lap. They even have the same amount of ERS. Well, not right now because Luke used some ERS to get back into the lead. Smelto goes up into P4 ahead of Crystals, so that's a good news for the Haas driver. When it comes to the teams tonight, it's hard to pick the best team on the track because look at this, every single driver that's in the top 10, the second driver of the team is actually not in the points except for Mercedes, but he is of course going to drop out of the points. So the best team for now technically is Haas, but we still don't know this because of the penalties. Yellow flag in sector 3, that's for the Nyko in the McLaren. He's sliding across the track.
We still have the bet about Dice.
Yeah, Dice is still in there. He's still cooking. Let this guy work. He's P13, comfortable, 8-second time penalty. Still pushing, still going. Crystals gets back into P4 in the meantime. He's actually trying to give us some entertainment, fighting with Smelto. Smelto is trying to bring us some joy into this race as well. Down the main straight, now they're gonna swap again. Oh, actually not down the main straight, because he actually goes up ahead of him in the final corner. That was a nice move from the Haas driver.
And he has the DRS.
Dice gets a 3-second time penalty, so Smelto, he might actually just made a move to pull away nicely from his opponent. Sector 1 yellow flag that was caused by the Alfa Romeo driver Vinny. And Crystals is now going to be 0.6 second behind him. Matt makes a move up into P10, and Heat is out of this Grand Prix after retiring in the pit lane. So he's out of the race. Of course, with this amount of penalties, there was no way for him to point any points so far. So Run Cruiser, his teammate, gets a 3 second as well. So yeah, a lot of penalties for those guys. With a couple of laps remaining in this Grand Prix, we are still yet to see who's gonna win it. It's between Luke and Christian.
Lawrence is going up to P7 right now.
With the penalty. Oh, yeah. And he's still quick. Look at him. He's on medium tires, going extremely quick right now. 5 seconds to Cruiser. I can confidently say that this guy is gonna get a lot of places if he's going to keep up this pace and doesn't make a mistake. In the meantime, Tunari actually made a move up into P5, and Smelto got a 3-second time penalty. So there's a lot of this. Tunari actually made a move on the Ferrari driver, and now he's gonna try to make a move on Smelto. He will due to DRS. So Tunari from P6 up into P4, Smelto down to P5, and now Fox is gonna try to hunt him down. Crystals.
Big mistake from Tunari.
Tunari made a mistake. Yeah, so Tunari gets... Oh, yeah, that's a huge mistake, and I can see that he now has a whole train behind him. So let's stick with that train for now, because Tunari is leading this train. But of course, there's 3 other cars that wants to pass him. Well, Fox has a 14-second time penalty, so it's not too much from him. But we're trying to see how our Crystals and Smelto are gonna go. For now, Tunari is safe, but it's not gonna last forever. Smelto and Fox trying to gain some distance on the McLaren driver. Fox is gonna try to, Crystal's gonna try to overtake Smelto once to get a chance. Of course, Smelto's gonna have a DRS now, and Tunari won't. So this is gonna be up into Haas driver to pick up P4 again, and Crystals is gonna try to get back into P5. But remember that Fox is right on his tail. He's sliding a bit. So down the main straight they go. Smelto, he's actually a lot in the back because Tunari deployed a lot of batteries. So this is going to be a very tight situation for Tunari because he didn't drop off Smelto in time. He's still in the DLS zone. He's not going to overtake him now. But this is still, I believe, a matter of time before he makes that move again. So we just have to remember to go for the 2 guys in the front for the final lap, because those guys, despite the fact we may not actually be excited by this, they're still gonna fight for the win, and we're gonna have to see who's gonna win this Grand Prix on the final lap. So remember to switch to Christian and Luke for the final lap. But for now, we're trying to see some race action. But the guys from P4 to P7 actually got a bit far away from each other, so we don't do too much.
I need some help with the math. Does Lawrence get P6?
Does Lawrence get P6? Yeah, I would have to say that for now. It looks like it, yeah. Run Cruiser gets a 3-second time penalty. We should have like some kind of buzzer or some different kind of sound effects for the penalties here in Imola. Wait. We actually have a safety car. We actually have a safety car. That's a game changer.
Oh, come on, Tunari.
2 5-second time penalties, Tunari and Smelto. Okay, this is... We just got woken up from our slammer. So, this is actually huge. Christian and Luke still in the lead without penalties, but now they're under the safety car. Lawrence goes up into P4, and he can actually challenge for the podium, because we're gonna have about 2, maybe even 1 lap of racing with Gamer ahead of him. And if they won't stop, then Lawrence, will be in the podium place right now if he won't get a penalty. This is gonna change up a whole lot of things. So we have a lot of pit stops right now. And due to those pits, we have a lot of position swaps. So Christian and Luke are still in the front. Gamer is still P3, but now Lawrence is gonna be P3 after the race finish if he's not gonna get a penalty, because Gamer has a 3 second. Tonari is P5, but he's got an 8 second worth of penalties. Melto's behind him with 11. Crystals is behind both of these guys, but with only 3 second worth of penalties. So he's actually gonna be finishing P5 if this stays like this. Fox is P8 with 9 seconds, then Ron Cruiser with also 9 seconds, Taj with only 3 seconds, Matt with 6 seconds, and Dice with 6 seconds, Riyad with 9 seconds, Tilde, Vinny, Batsai, Snaiko. You know what's actually funny? That Tilde, while being P14, can still as well be in the points here tonight. This is wild. And Luke and Christian are gonna go for a pit stop, so is Gamer, and Christian's gonna hold his lead, Luke is second. Gamer P3, Lawrence is coming into the pit lane, and you have to wonder, was that a good decision for the Haas driver, because he's now
he can put on the softs.
Yeah, but he's gonna be stuck in a lot of traffic. You have to wonder, is it worth it? Actually, is he? Because
it is worth it.
Is the one to stay out. Crystal stay out. He's gonna drop 2 positions on the track. And you have to wonder, was that a good decision?
Look,
because we're gonna have about 2 laps of racing.
Yes, but
3 positions, sorry.
He's gonna gain those positions because he's gonna have the soft.
Yeah, but
and
then
there are
again,
too many penalties.
Yeah, but then again, if he wouldn't stop, he would be P4, right behind Gamer, with penalty. At this point, he would only have to finish behind Gamer, and he's on the podium.
But he would be with the 9 laps old mediums. It would not be safe.
Yeah, but now he doesn't only have to finish behind Gamer, he first has to pass 3 other drivers, because if Fox, Crystal and Tonari are not gonna let him through, Gamer, with only 3 seconds worth of time penalty, can still pull away on these 3 seconds and actually pick up a podium instead of Lawrence.
So we will have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gamble for Lawrence.
The problem is that he's not gonna have the help of the DRS.
Yeah, basically he's not gonna have a DRS with the amount of laps.
And safety car will be in on lap 30.
Okay, thanks for the info from the FIA. So, we got Christian in the lead. And with no DRS, this fight for lead is actually going to be amazing as well. This is going to be pure racing from Christian and Luke. Look at this. Same tires, both no penalty, no DRS, full ERS on both these cars. This is going to be pure racing for the win between Christian and Luke. I'm all for it. And I'm also looking forward to see what can Lawrence pull off on these soft tires. Can he go up into podium? Or is he going to miss out big time?
What the hell is it?
I know what you said about it. And we need to wait to find out. So maybe we didn't get rain tonight, but at least we got a late safety car, which is, as always, scripted, as always, is giving us a bit of emotions that we were lacking through this race here in Imola. Of course, the drivers don't lack emotions. They must be happy or extremely angry, depending on who you are. If you get a lot of penalties, you can't be really happy with that, but you also need to be really happy and lucky with no penalties for you. So we're about
now,
to get ready.
I'm happy with Lawrence. I'm happy for Lawrence because he made an incredible effort.
Yeah, from P20 for P7, and he can still go P3. I mean, I'm telling you that if he finishes above P10 in the points at this point, I'm thinking it's a... Nah, come on. How do you get a 3-second time penalty under the safety car? Like, I get it still, but come on.
Is the guy in this lap?
We actually don't get an info yet. Yes, there it is. Safety car in this lap. So, you're never wrong on this one. And the rain.
I've learned the game well, but I can't find the setup to work.
Yeah. So, we're gonna have 2 laps worth of racing. No DRS, basically. Wait, no DRS, or is it gonna be on the last lap?
No DRS. No DRS.
No DRS, nothing. So, we're gonna have to stay with Luke and Christian, and from time to time take a look at Lawrence. because for now the most important thing in the race is A, who's gonna win this race between Christian and Luke, and B, where is Lawrence going to finish? Those are the questions you have to answer at the end of the race, but we are going green because Christian's not waiting for the long restart. He's going early in here, down the main straight, and Christian's gonna start this safety car reset as a leader. Is he gonna finish the race as a leader, or is Luke gonna do him? Luke is trying to make a move into turn 1 before the final lap, and he's gonna do it around the outside. Now on the inside, he's gonna have to back it off. Great move from Christian. He was way faster right now, and Christian was able to hold his lead, but Luke is not done yet. Luke is trying to get as fast as possible ahead of Christian. And we can see that Lawrence actually goes up into P6 and P5, P6 again. Crystals made a good defensive move, and he's now down to P6. And Lawrence nightmare could be happening. He has to overtake Crystals and Tunari to go behind Gamer, but for now he's staying behind those guys. It's not gonna be an easy job for him. Anyway, we're trying to stick with the race leaders because the race win is on the line right now. This is all against nothing. Luke against Christian are about to enter the final lap of the race. They were leading, both of them were leading for the whole race, but only one of them can pick up the win here at Imola, and Christian is looking good, but now Luke is going to have a hole down the main straight on the slipstream of Christian. Is he gonna use this to actually gain anything from that? Dice goes up into P9, and now let's see if Christian can defend from Luke into turn 1. Luke is gonna gain a lot of slipstream using some battery, not whole of it. He's still got some left in tank, and it's not gonna be enough. Look at Christian, he's still in the lead, and if I have to be honest, I don't know where Luke can actually pull this overtake off if not down into turn 1. So this is gonna be very interesting. Yellow flag in the back, that was caused by Dice. He's not out of the race though. He's not out of the race. He is now. Okay. So yeah. So the prediction was actually false from Larson. He is out of the race. Tilde gets a free second time penalty. So the first thing we need to focus on is who's gonna win this race, and then we're gonna shift our attention to Lawrence. Where is he gonna go? Is he gonna go P3 on the podium? So Christian, who was defending for the final 2 laps of the race, still ahead of Luke. Luke doesn't have too much pace or situation, or basically any sort of situation to overtake him, so we're gonna have to sit back for now. And I think that's it. I don't think Luke can actually pull this off. Christian is zooming for the finish line. Luke will have one more chance. No, not enough pace from him. Out of the final corner we go. Down the main straight, maybe a drag lane to the finish line. I don't think so. It's not gonna be too much of a drag race because it's a short line. So Christian wins the Imola Grand Prix. Lawrence goes up into the podium just ahead of Gamer. He's done it. Gamer P4 then.
I told you.
Yeah.
You didn't believe me.
Yeah. So we have to wait for full results because of all the penalties, but we know that Christian is the winner here at Imola.
And you know the driver of the day. And you know the driver of the day.
Of course, like you can't deny it. P20 to P3 is wild, to say the least. Huge congratulations for the winner, for the Luke for the second place, and for Lawrence for the huge comeback drive. Wow. So, we got the final standings with Christian being the winner, Luke second, Lawrence P3, Gamer is now P4, Crystals P5, Janari P6, Todd P7, Tilde P9, P9 for Fox, and P10 for Cruiser. So out of the points are Matt, Smelto, Vinny, Riyad, Dice, Vatsai, Nyko, Kitty, Yuho, and Bebix. And unfortunately, Dice didn't finish the race. What a heartbreak, the biggest heartbreak tonight, surely.
So who won the bet?
So Larson was betting. He's actually, wait. Larson was saying that. Is he or is he not? I'm trying to find on chat. Where was he typing that? He said the Dice will finish. So Larson was actually wrong. He didn't won that gamble because Dice didn't finish. So yeah, that's a shame for him.
He could have.
Yeah, he could have. He was basically less than a lap away, but he didn't. So, yeah. Larson said that completing 90% doesn't count as a did not finish. Maybe. But then again, have you seen him go over the finish line? Because I certainly didn't. So it's up into the interpretation of the author of this story. Anyway, that's gonna sum up the Tier 2 race for Imola. Not too much wheel-to-wheel action, but a lot of penalties action. We don't really love it, but we also don't hate it. We could have had more, but we could have had even worse race. So yeah, that safety car definitely pumped up the emotions a bit. That's gonna be it for the on-track action. Let's see if anybody wants to have a word after this race. I mean, not really too much to talk about here tonight, but maybe somebody wants to talk with us. Let me just scroll it down. So we have Crystals in the interview section. Let's get him in here. Hey, Crystals.
Hello. Hello.
So, what do you feel about your home race, basically? Because that was a home race for you in a lot of ways. And how do you feel about this overall?
Yeah, a little bit disappointed, if I have to be honest. Like, I was, for like extra warning, I got the 3 seconds penalty, otherwise it would have been like a podium this race. But yeah, the race was actually pretty good, you know, it was pretty clean. I've got some overtake, switching the positions with Smelto. But then, yeah, the safety car came in and we tried to fight as hard as possible, but it was pretty difficult to overtake AR or Tunari. And I was also defending from Cody, so I tried the undercut with the hards at the beginning. It worked out because we managed to overtake to pass Melto and Tunari, but then it was too fast because it was on mediums. And yeah, qualifying actually was a little bit better than last week, 14.2 I said, and yeah, Christian just 16.6. It was pretty difficult to put the car on pole, to be honest. But used to braking points, you know, like tires just when they get into the 20%, they start to feel a little bit slippery. You pretty much slide, like I was sliding on the Tamburello. But yeah, overall it was a decent race.
Yeah, so thank you for that quick summary. And wow, I mean, not too much to talk about the race action because this was basically about the penalties, so I don't have too much questions for you.
Yeah, but yeah, track limits played at the game.
Track limits.
Yeah.
But still, thanks for a couple of words. And I can see we have Christian and Mexico City fan in an interview section. That's who's that on the Tier 2? I can't really tell, but anyway, thank you, Crystals. We're now gonna switch to Christian.
Yep, see you.
Hey, Christian.
Alright.
So actually, you can tell us a bit more because you probably had the most fun in this Grand Prix compared to other drivers and the most actions. So how will you sum this race from your perspective?
You know, teamwork with against the guy I'm not teammates with, but you know, we played together good, not to get overtaken by AR, for example, and we just pulled a gap after the pit stops. It was just us two at the end, playing with each other, whatever you say.
Yeah, that safety car was definitely a lot of mayhem at the end. This shifted everything, so...
But may I ask you something? Did you know that your opponent had a bigger speed at the long straight with the ERS?
Sorry, what?
Your opponent?
Yeah?
Basically, when you were going down the main straight, you used more energy than your opponent. I think it was Luke. And did you know that he actually has less energy? You decided that it's now time to pull away the gap, or were you just gambling that he had less battery than you?
I just pressed my overtake button and closed my eyes, basically.
Yeah, okay, so...
praying to the racing gods he wouldn't catch me, but it was
that's
close.
Also an option.
Good.
Yeah, anyway.
I bet he would enjoy the race more if it was a rain.
I'm pretty sure we all would, especially we here, so...
Only one safety car.
Yeah, only one. That's actually not a lot for this league, so
Uh,
something new.
there is a lot of escape routes. By you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
in specific places, like the one that dies DNF'd, is the same place where the safety car came out.
Yes. So, thank you, Christian. Congratulations for winning the race. And
Thank you.
we do have Mexico City fan in the interview section. I'm wondering who is that. Let's bring him in.
I don't know. I
Hello.
just heard him Mexico City fan.
Yes, sir. You have me.
Yeah.
Who are you?
First of all,
What do you want
what's your
here?
nickname in the race? Because we can only see the Mexico City fan.
Who are you? We don't know you. Get out of here.
Nah, SK Lord to the race. SK Lord to the race. Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah,
So,
I just
what
Go
can you
ahead.
tell us about the race? Like, did you have fun? At least, did you have fun? Because not a lot of people did here tonight.
I'll say at the start, I think I missed no less than like 5 crashes. To be honest,
Yeah.
it was kind of maelstrom. I hadn't seen such chaos in a race in a while. Actually, I do have to apologize to Luke Wetzel's. He had a moment through the Tamburello chicane on exit, and I tried to miss him. I tried to brake on the exit, but I couldn't miss him quick enough. So I think I spun him. I'm not sure if he got damaged from it, but my apologies to him on that. I tried my best. I just wasn't enough to miss contact. But yeah, I mean, first stint was just kind of a mess for me. The second stint felt better on the medium. But that safety car pretty much bailed me out and have a chance to make up for the fact I had no pens, and a lot of cars in front of me did. So that was very fortunate in that regard.
Yeah. Again, not really too much to talk in here about the race itself, but still, congratulations for the race result, and we hope to see you again in quite some time in maybe a different tier, maybe in a different scenario, because the drive was really good, and we'll hope to see you a bit more here with us tonight and next week maybe. So yeah, we'll see about that.
We'll see. I might drive tomorrow in Tier 1. We'll see about that for
Oh.
race. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think I'm gonna have as much success though.
So anyway, good
I'll
luck
try
tonight. Good luck tomorrow, and yeah, thank you for talking to us.
Have a good night, guys. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for having me.
So, I guess that's basically it here for tonight, because we can't really talk too much about this Grand Prix, so why don't you go ahead and sum it up for us?
We know the driver of the day, of course, and
Yeah, of course.
I expect a lot tomorrow. A lot more racing on the limit, because Tier 1. You can say more than that. Unless we have rain. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully. Anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. For anybody who stayed with us in this exciting of a race, tune in for tomorrow for Tier 1 in Imola, and eventually see us next week for another race week at Slipstream League Racing. My name was CM Punk. Tonight I was co-hosted by
Ulas. And if you want to know when we are live, just subscribe on YouTube or follow us on Twitch, because we are streaming in both platforms. And hit that notification so you get notified when we are live. Basically, right now it's Wednesday to Friday, but you never know. We have special events coming up every single season, so be here.
Yeah, we'll see about that. So thank you everybody, and good night.